For more on the economic and political implications, we are joined by Dr. Michael Szanto, global economy expert. So, I just want you to break this down for our viewers. How significant is Iran's war impact on the global economy, and or essentially how quickly could that translate into sustained inflation or slower growth?
Within a few weeks or less, it's kind of already in process. And even if the strait was completely opened, it would be hard to reverse, shutting down oil production facilities in Kuwait, UAE, Saudi Arabia. It's not like a switch that you can turn it back on. So we have a disruption. President Trump is going to the midterm election. It's a difficult political time for him. The Republicans are not expected to do well as is. And in terms of inflationary pressures, President Trump's tariffs that he implemented, basically in his first year of his administration, were very ill-advised when he was voted in to deal with inflation, and those can only basically contribute to inflation.
Who is being hit the hardest right now worldwide?
Oh, the Europeans and the Asians. The United States leads in production of oil and natural gas. We are independent in terms of energy. The prices will still get transmitted back because you have a global oil market. It's fungible. So even oil produced in the U.S. gets more expensive because of market forces. Another thing is for high-tech industries like computer chips and MRIs, we need helium. A big chunk of that comes from Qatar. So it does cause pain for the American consumer, but Americans today, even though they don't feel like it, are the richest in the world. And it's the Europeans who are very vulnerable, as are many of our Asian allies out east, to oil supply disruptions.
Polling suggests that American voters are directly linking the war to rising costs. Is that perception economically justified, or do you think it's more politically driven?
I mean, that it is going to. I mean, gas prices are already up. That's largely due to the war. It's going to get worse. Pre-existing inflationary pressures existed before Trump took office. So definitely, this was a brave move. Iran is, of course, for decades been the largest state sponsor of terrorism. I think every rational person should hope that this regime is ended as soon as possible. It took incredible bravery for President Trump to strike at this time going into midterms, because in the short term, there is going to be an economic cost. In the long term, no, we will weather it, and the United States will be stronger and more prosperous than ever. It will only be a short-term crisis, and countries like the United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia will figure out ways to bypass the strait over time or strengthen against Iranian terrorism. Iran really only gets to play this card once. They'll never be able to play this again. We will definitely come out stronger than ever after this crisis, and hopefully without this terrorist regime in Tehran.
Well, I have to say, very interesting to hear your take on this, your insights. I think everybody is watching the Dow closely, S&P. The markets have been shifting a lot based on what Trump has to say. And we're just going to have to wait and see if there's really a long-term fallout here. But thank you for joining us, Michael. We are turning